Hi everybody, my name is Tom and this is a video about the Kong Alliance in the map TranZit Green Run. We have already done a lot of specific survival map guides, so we want to skip a lot of circles. We want to just have a look at those that we haven't had a look at yet. And the first one is here in the diner. You see here already the first still image, and this is to present the first two circles. It's actually one but two options of it. So you can either follow the green line, that is a circle that leads around or through the lava, and this is never good because it slows you down and the zombies start to burn, they explode, stuff like that. So you rather want to actually prefer the dark green line. I always say light instead of line, I do not know why, but anyway, you follow the dark green line, you drag the zombies out towards the pump station there, or what is it called? Gas pump, and that's it. So we just have a look at the light green option first, and you see now the bus is coming, it messes the circle a little bit up, but shit just happens. So what we have to do is we just improvise a little bit, make the circle a little bit smaller, and then we can still do it. The shooting point is actually up here where the bus is, we see it right now, but you can also shoot in front of the diner. Just be aware that zombies can spawn from behind you, so you want to make sure that no zombie spawns anymore and that you have a max train. We now switch to the dark green option, which is actually way better because there is not that much lava and you have way more time to shoot. So it's perfect for an LMG because you can gain so much distance to the train and then you have so much time to shoot, which makes it just perfect to take out a full train at one burst. I really prefer the dark green option because you just have not that many fire around you. You have more time, more space. It's just more relaxed. Wow, how many M's were that? I hope none. Anyway, let's go to the next circle, and we are actually already in it, and this is here in front of the garage. This is a circle that is very easy because you have a lot of space here. There is actually not much to think about when you do that circle. The zombies just spawn in front of you, that's a bit annoying, but you have a lot of space to dodge them. So it's very easy. Just feel free to try that circle out. This is actually the first circle that I can highly recommend because it's that easy. TranZit has a lot of circles that are so easy, and we'll have a look at some of these in this video, so just stay on. There is, as I said, nothing to keep in mind. Just do your circle and shoot a bit when you have time, when the zombies have spawned, when you are not in danger, when no one spawns behind you. Turn around, shoot, go on, do your next turn, blah, blah. So simple, so easy. There is really nothing to say about it. Maybe only that truck to your right there could block you or could be interpreted. I know that was spelled wrong, I guess, but whatever, this truck could be interpreted as an obstacle, but it's really not that bad, so very simple, very easy. Now the next circle is here in front of the farm. You see the entrance to the farm right there. And let's have a look where the obstacles and the tricky situations in that circle are. Obstacles? No. Gaps? No. Nothing. The only thing we could mention as a disadvantage is maybe the limited view here. You're kind of in the fog here, but that's really the only thing. So this circle is one of the easiest, I think. The zombies spawn a little bit crazy here sometimes. You'll see me actually executing a cutback once, and this is really surprising because this circle is so fucking easy, man. It's amazing that I even had to execute a cutback here. That's really amazing. I think it follows soon. But otherwise, you simply can run your circle here. Zombies spawn like crazy as said, and you have to dodge them. I think there was my cutback or so. I don't know if I dodged them or did the cutback. No clue. Anyway, whatever. It's very easier. Very simple. Zombies spawn in front of you, you dodge them. If you can't, do a cutback, but this will not happen often. And when every zombie has spawned, or once every zombie has spawned, you just shoot them and then you continue. The problem here is, of course, when the bus is here, because then it takes a lot away of your space. So when the bus is here, you might want to go up to the farm. And for the farm, I've done a separate video guide, so have a look at that when you want to have a little overview of the circles up there. But you can actually still run that circle even when the bus is here. You just go around the bus. It's then a little bit trickier because there are some gaps, but it's not really difficult, so just try it out. Now the next circle is here in Nacht Der Untoten. This circle is very cool. It's amazing how slow the zombies spawn here. Just have a look at it. I just got 1 zombie, 2 zombies, 3 zombies, then the next one comes, it's 4 zombies, then 5 zombies. Very simple. There is just one thing that we have to keep in mind, and that is that bus there. Right to it, you see a gap indicated by the red line. So when a zombie spawns there, we should not go through that gap because the zombie could block us. The solution to that is just always pass by that bus to the left. So when you come to this area where I'm in now, you pass by the bus to the left, and when you leave that area I'm in now, you pass by that bus to the left again, as seen by the green line. So very simple, very easy. And yeah, let's continue with the video. There is of course another gap right here where this other car is. It's actually a very long gap, so the car is kind of in the corner of this area there, and that means all around the car is kind of a gap. So when this gap is blocked, or when a zombie is there, which normally will not happen because there is not a spawn point right there, then you can just turn around before you go into that actual gap, and then you are very safe. Now we had a nuke, and this gives us just the opportunity to demonstrate very well how slow the freaking zombies spawn here. So it takes like half an hour till the first zombie will actually come to me. There he is. So we can easily punch him 3 times, bam. And then we can take a nap again till the next zombie comes. There he is. Hello, how are you? Now I start with my circle again. There you actually saw me avoiding the car there and just turning around before I go into the gap. There we saw a cutback because a zombie just spawned in front of me. He might have blocked me there in the bus gap that I've mentioned, stuff like that. And here I even have time to take out that slow dude. It's very simple here because the zombies spawn so slow. But a slow spawn means also that you do not progress that fast. So this is actually not so cool when you want to progress fast, go fast to high rounds. This is not what you should do here because the zombies spawn way too slow here. Now we are actually inside Nacht Der Untoten, as you can see, and what we do here is the same as we have seen in the Black Ops 1 guides about Nacht Der Untoten. I just run a circle around these, I think they are called piles. If it's not called piles, what I mean is the things that are in this room, and make that the roof is not falling down. So you just run around these, and that's actually your circle. It works quite well because the zombies still spawn very slow. You can, as an alternative path or something, you can drag the zombies out up there, as we have just seen, and you can then go back, but it's a little bit tricky sometimes because you have to pass by some kind of gap when you drag the zombies out there. So when you want to have more information on this, just refer to the linked Nacht Der Untoten guide here. In the meanwhile, we already started the next circle, and this is underneath the Tower of Babel. It's a very tricky circle because it's so small. Important actually is just that you keep in mind that you can run through the nav card table in case you have already built it. So do not try to avoid it, do not try to dodge the nav card table because it looks like a corner there and it looks like you would corner yourself, but you actually don't. That table can't block you, so just keep that in mind. That's really important that you do not adjust your path because of that table. And then this circle works actually, I would say not well, but it works. The problem is just when there's 1 or 2 zombies spawn in front of you, you might have not enough space for a cutback sometimes, and then you're kind of trapped here. That is also why I used the ray gun, because with the ray I could just kill a zombie in front of me in case they block me like shit. As well, this is a very small circle, so when you want to work with a LMG or an assault rifle here, it would be very hard because you do not have much time to shoot the zombies here in that small circle, and that is not really cool. So I just want to mention this circle for the Easter egg, of course, because in the Easter egg you have to kill like a few zombies here with explosives gun. So that is why I actually want to mention it. But do not be here unless you have to. I mean, just think about it. When you die, quick revive revives you in solo, and then you are in the middle of this maze here, and the maze is really dangerous when you have to escape it. You are in those narrow paths. Zombies coming from your front. You have no jug, no quick revive, and then you are just dead. Now the next circle is here in front of power, as you can see. What we do here is we just follow this lava pool, and then we turn around, go back, and so on. So it's very easy, actually very simple, the circle itself. But it's of course not a cool circle because there is fire everywhere. All zombies are burning, and this is never cool. We are slowed down because of the lava at various positions. So it's not really a cool circle. It's not the best circle. But when you are trapped here in power, or when you want to stay here for some reason, you can do that circle. It's not the most difficult one, but it's also not the easiest one. When the zombies block you for some reason, feel free to go into that lava pool. It won't kill you instantly, so it needs a lot of ticks until you are killed. So do not feel afraid of it, just go into it to dodge the zombies that block you. The zombies are not very well organized, and this is always the case in that circles where we basically just run a line. We just run forward this line, then we turn around and go on the same line, actually on the same track. We go back again. This is never so cool. So yeah, it's not really comfortable here for some reason, but yeah, you can't have everything. So just feel free to try that circle out, but don't be here in case you don't have to. Of course, we just heard the bus horning, and then suddenly the next cut comes. Of course, this circle is not really working well when the bus is there. Now the next circle is inside the power room, and the only reason to do that circle is actually when some bitch in your team stole the hand or the handle or something for the power switch and then escaped with the turbine through the door, and you can do nothing. You can't escape this area, and then you have to do that circle here. This is actually very cool. It's not that difficult in case the door towards the lightning trap workbench is closed. So then it's actually not that difficult, but now all doors are open, of course. And then it gets really tricky here. It gets really, really tricky. Zombies can spawn a little bit badly, and then you are kind of trapped and fucked. So do not do that circle unless you have to. It still works for some time, and in a multiplayer game when the zombies are split up to all players, it actually works quite well. Of course, it's cool that you have no fire and stuff there, but just do not do that circle. I just want to mention it in case you once have to do that circle. Now we are in the tunnel, and there are a lot of circles that you can do here. The first one is actually one you should not do because it's very tricky. We pass by a lot of gaps and narrow spots, but I want to show it because it's kind of interesting what happens here. So you see me here running through that cars, and it's very narrow here. I can get blocked easily, so that is why you should not do it. But the cool thing about this circle is that after one turn, you have the full circle together. This is very cool, and I like this a lot. There you saw another tricky situation, like two zombies blocking the whole path up there. And as said, yeah, that circle is really, really bad. Anyway, I just think it's really interesting and kind of fun that you just have to do one full turn around this area you have seen around the railing there, and your train is complete. We see it very, very well in this turn. So let's have a look. I just wait here till the first zombie comes, then I start my turn, pass by the M16. Go along the railing, here I turn around. Now here I have to face like 2-3 very narrow gaps, which is not cool. That is why we do not do that circle. But now my train is complete and I can actually shoot it. The train is not what I would call compact, but who cares, you're around 21 with the ray, that works well. And that's actually it. So let's go to the next one. And this is now here around this white car. To orientate yourself, I'm on the opposite side of the M16, and in the tunnel I'm closest to the bus station, actually, just when the Denizens stop to spawn. When you come from the bus station and the Denizens stop to come after you, look to the left and you see that white car, and that is where I run this circle here. This is a very simple one. You have a lot of space actually here. If something goes wrong, you can just alternate your path. For example, you can run around that bus there or just drag your path a bit out, do a cutback, something like that. That's no problem at all here. I always like circles in which you run around the structure. Here it's the car, because it makes the zombies a bit more organized, I think. When we just run in an open area where nothing blocks the zombies or organizes the zombies, like the zombies here have to run around the car, and this car makes the zombies or puts the zombies in some kind of organized path, and therefore they are very organized. We just have a look at it here. It's very similar. It's basically the same. It's just now on the other side of the tunnel. It's now when you come from the diner and the Denizen stop to spawn, then you see that blue car, and that is right where I am. So I'm kind of at the limit of the Denizen area. And here it's absolutely the same. When I run around this car, this car keeps the zombies in a beautiful line, and it's then very cool to shoot them. When you run in an open area, it's just a little bit more unorganized. The zombies are then not formed so well enough. And this is why I like those two circles extremely well around these cars. So just try it out. And as said, this circle has also these advantages that you can improvise like hell here. If the zombies do not spawn, very cool. You can just do a cutback. It's no problem here. You can here run around the track or drag your path wherever. That's no problem at all here. So let's just have a look at this next spawn here. And you see that it's actually absolutely no problem here. There are some gaps here, but that was close there. There are some gaps, but you still have space to dodge a single zombie, and in case it doesn't work, you can just do a cutback. And if I wouldn't focus on the slow ones so much here, I think I could also avoid that tricky situation as we have seen it just before there. That was really lucky there, dude. Alright, so let's go to the actually last circle that I want to show, and this is the main circle here in the tunnel. So what I do is I exaggerate, I think this is not spelled right, but I exaggerate a lot and I make the circle way too big. It's actually not good to make the circle so big, but what this is about is the opposite side of the M16 can be used as a max size circle. What you would actually do is you would split that thing into multiple smaller circles, but that, for the reason that you get an overview of the area, I just want to do it very big right now. Here we see me organizing the zombies a bit that I can shoot them, and then I continue my huge circle here. Alright, the new gives us again the opportunity to have a look at a new spawn. So let's wait. Actually, let's do a little overview here because the view is just cool. So let's do that still image here. And what we actually do now is that huge circle indicated by the light green line. And what you should do is split it up into multiple smaller circles. I just made 3 dark green lines here. You can actually also make 4 out of it or just 2, just whatever you want. And that's basically it. The reason why you shouldn't do that huge circle, and as well the reason why you shouldn't do the first circle around this railing, is just that the zombies are not so well organized when your circles are too big. So just do not do such big circles. The huge circles are actually not good. And that is why I just try to do some extra turns here over and over again. And now we just have a look at one of those small circles in which you would actually split that huge circle up. When you are 4 or 3 players, you can easily do that here, all 3 players or 4 players in the tunnel. Then you just get like 10 or 5 zombies, no problem at all. And you see I'm solo here, so I get all zombies on myself and it's still no problems at all. So I think that's enough. let's just have a look at a little overview map. So first of all, we started at the diner. We saw 2 circles there, of which the circle in front of the diner had 2 options. Then we went to the farm. For the farm itself, see the own guide I have made for it. But you can run a very cool circle, very easy one outside it, where the bus stops. Then we went to Nacht Der Unten. There we have seen 2 circles, one inside, one outside. We have seen that the zombies spawn very slow there. Then we went to the pylon. There was that circle underneath it, which is very difficult. I recommend a ray for it, and keep in mind that the navcard reader can be ignored, it doesn't block you. Then we went to power station. We have seen the circle outside, which is not really cool because there is that lava and fire everywhere, and the actual path you walk is quite narrow. The zombies are not very well organized. Inside the power station in the bright area, where the power switch is another circle that is very tricky when you play solo, but in co-op when the zombies split up it's actually very easy, or when the power is not on, you do not have chug, which makes it again difficult, but when that door there is closed, then it's also not so difficult. And then for the town, see actually the own guide again, as well for the bus stop. In the bus stop it's actually even easier than in survival, because that cars where the bus stops, actually they are not here in TranZit, so when the bus is not at the bus stop it's actually even easier. And then we went to the tunnel, where we have seen a lot of circles. I didn't even have enough space to mark them all here, so just feel free to run everywhere you want in the tunnel. What I would not do is try to run a circle in the cabin or at the bridge, because in the cabin it's just too small, and the bridge there are Denizens. Alright, I hope you enjoyed, have fun, see you, bye!